So welcome to the Next 10 team meeting, Node.js Next 10 team meeting for April 30th, 2025. We'll follow our standard approach of going through the agenda in the issue that was created in the repo, which was issue number 343. Before we get going, does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share? Okay, if there's no announcements, I'm just adding myself to the agenda. If people could add themselves as attendees, I'm going to paste that in the chat. Okay, so going on to the issues. So funding for the Node.js project status updates. I don't think there's any update on that. The 2025 survey. I know, Marco, you've been doing a bunch of work on the survey and so forth. So
Yes, so the survey is ready. So I'm just waiting for reviews and approvals on it, and we can then merge it. So please have a look at it. I plan to merge the PR tomorrow so that we can have the survey for the whole month of May. That would be great. So please go ahead and review it.
yeah, yeah, thanks. I took a look at the link, the survey review link that you showed. I made a couple small comments, like there's a couple things that I thought should have been like in the PR. It says they should be multi-select and they were only single select, but otherwise it looked good to me.
I think Kylie already changed that.
Okay. Okay, great.
So
Otherwise, I think it looked good, so that's great. Thanks for all the work for putting that in. And I like the idea of it running for the whole month of May. That's nice. And
yeah, and then we can discuss in June.
yep. And we can include it in like blog posts, maybe about 24, right? So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much under control, it looks like. So on to the next one, which is set of base questions for collaborators. I think this is one that Jean was kind of driving, with the idea of being able to like have some questions that we could then use to do a little bit of, might say promotion, or like, if we said thanks to some collaborators, it would be information that we could include in those. I don't know if it's worth spending a few minutes on that, and we could just, see if we have any ideas. I could, this is the link to the PR if you want to open that up. Basically simple, pretty straightforward questions. Who are you? Tell us more about yourself. When did you start using Node.js? On which open source projects are you working on? What drives you to work on open source? That's on the yourself, and then day job. What's your day job? Where are you working? How does your work? Okay, I might suggest a change on that one to how does your work relate to contributing? How does your work relate to contributing to Node.js? Is your company supporting the time spent on Node.js? And then the collaborator, when did you start contributing? What was your first contribution? What is your favorite contribution? What is your core area of expertise in Node.js? And what is your journey to contribute to Node.js?
Sorry to interrupt, but
Yep.
I could not find the issue related to this, like I don't know, but I don't have context on this.
Sure.
one.
This is the one that was on the agenda.
But like these questions, is it a survey or it is more like a presentation thing?
It's a good question. Like I was thinking that it was related to, at some point we were thinking that we might have like a short blurb on collaborators, right? But I'm not like, my take on that is like we can't really ask people questions and have somebody write it up, because like finding the people to write those all up would be a challenge. So in that case, for that, we might more ask like, here, write a paragraph on yourself, and here's how it would be used. So I'm now, having looked at the questions, I'm thinking this might be for something a little different. And I'd agree, I don't quite have enough context. So maybe we should just say like, let's leave this on the agenda until we have Jean who can clarify a little bit.
Yeah, because it like the amount of questions seems more than just a presentation, but less
Right.
than a survey. So it's in a weird in between.
Right.
We should clarify.
Okay, makes sense. Seems to be less than so he said more than a presentation, but less than a survey.
Yes.
And a presentation and less. Okay. Let's do that. So the ambassador program number 302, messages and topics for additional content. I think what we discussed, if I remember correctly in past meetings, was we were going to leave that one open until the collaborator summit, to basically, have an opportunity for people to say or to, basically share that like, hey, you can add in if there's particular topics that you think the ambassador should be sharing to get that more socialized. And then close this issue as like, we've done what we're plan to do today to get those messages in. There are some messages, and over time, hopefully people will continue to PR messages in. So I think so go ahead.
I was not able to, like, I don't see a lot of things that are connected to the ambassador programs in the wild. The repo looks quite empty.
That's a separate issue, which I think we should also talk about, right? Like this issue is specifically about like, let's get the messages added. But I do think that we might want to talk about like, what do we do as a team to help, like maybe engage a bit with the ambassadors? If that's, I don't know, maybe if that is that what you were thinking of? Because that's what I was thinking, but maybe I'm guessing wrong.
Yeah. We could also ask the ambassadors if they could like join the next 10 meeting, so we could have like overlap on this kind of meeting. So we can like leave a
Yeah,
little bit of space for the ambassador program or
right.
the
So you mean ask them to join regularly, right?
yes.
Okay, I like that idea. Yeah, that's a good one. I think like the two reasons I could see for that was like we'd like to figure out how to enable them a bit more, right? Like basically,
Yeah.
and we'd also like to understand understand the plans, right? Understand and share plans a little bit, right?
Yeah. We have two attendees. If they want to join as panelists, we should
I
promote
have tried to
them.
promote them already.
Mhm.
Like I've tried to promote them a bunch of times since the beginning. So, but good to point out, Marco, both, you two are Miguel and Yevhen, you are welcome to join as panelists. So I guess what I'd say is like on 302, maybe we close that one. And then, but separately, we asked the ambassadors to see if they could join the meetings, and then we could use, a portion of the time to sort of sync and strategize in terms of next steps and helping, do they need help to get certain things started or whatever. Make sense? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna. So the follow-on survey perf and diagnostics. I don't think there's any update on that unless anybody else has one. And corporate usage stories, I haven't done anything, so I don't have any update unless anybody else does. I'm still kind of waiting to like focus a little bit more on like getting the ambassador program launched and running before we dive into that next one. Okay, and that takes us to the end of the agenda. Is there anything else we should chat about this week? Okay, well, if not, thanks for everybody's time. Thanks for everybody who's been on the call or is watching on stream. And we'll see everybody in YouTube next. I mean, see in GitHub and next time. Thanks. Bye.